think anyone would actually show up to this. I mean, it's a Saturday night, guys. Don't you have somewhere else to be? Well, no, I'm kidding, of course, because you know me, and you know wine. And there is nothing more important or valuable than wine, am I right?
No.
Yeah? Yes. And you know, wine pairs well with so many things. Foods, moods, family members, pets. But I'm told some people even enjoy pairing it with human interaction. I don't personally understand that, but in that spirit, I've invited you all here tonight to join me for our very first ever world premiere of America's #1 live wine review talk show. No? I know you're excited, but I didn't get accepted to Hour 3 of the Today Show. Damn you, Hoda and Kathy Lee! It's okay. I don't need them, and neither do we. We don't need NBC. We just need a bar. And, oh, but you know, there's one right over there. So get yourself a glass of something, preferably one of the 5 wines we'll be trying tonight, but really you'll want anything at all, as we begin this incredible journey through what's really going to be an interactive wine review. So, while we have a moment, let me just let you know, if you need to pop up and get a drink during the show, by all means feel free to. Just hurry back so that you don't miss any of our exciting pro tips, wine reviews, or even a special celebrity appearance by none other than Kim Kardashian. Or someone who kind of looks like Kim Kardashian. You know, if you drink enough, you won't know the difference. But I have one more thing to say about not paying attention. I see you doing it. Please, by all means, feel free to stop paying attention in order to tweet or Instagram us at #HighbrowLowbar. That's #HighbrowLowbar for your low bar night of highbrow entertainment. Now, you might be wondering what you're in store for. We'll be reviewing Pinot Noir in just a moment, but first, I want to remind you what I'm here to do tonight. Guide you through these 5 wines and taste them all in under 25 minutes. It's a challenge few of us are up for, but with the clock already ticking, I think it's time to begin with our Gavelon Pinot Noir. Who here is drinking Pinot Noir? Yeah! Wow, that was like 3 people. Because, I mean, I'm not surprised. Who doesn't like Pinot Noir? Seriously, does anyone here not like it? Show of hands, not liking Pinot Noir? That's what I thought, because Pinot Noir is pretty much one of the most popular wines in America right now, and let me tell you something, if it is popular, it must be good. So, well, we might just think, well, okay, Pinot Noir is good, moving on. We can't move on yet, because you see, even though we know Pinot Noir is good, we can still pretend to have an opinion about it. For example, the Pinot Noir grape can be grown in many different places, from California to Northern California, all the way to the Pacific Northwest. Now, I like to pretend that I know that the best Pinot Noirs come from Washington State. I don't know why, but that brings us to our first important lesson of the night. Always judge your wine before you taste it. It applies to so many things in life, but to wine, it is the most important. So, we have here our Gavelon Pinot Noir from the bar. It is a California Pinot, which means we already have to dock it 1 point, because it's not from Washington. You follow me so far? Good, good. So you might be wondering, points? How many points do we have to worry about here? It's simple. Everything's on a 5-point scale. So now, we're down to 4. Easy, right? Now, there is one other thing we have to judge before we can begin, though. It's on every bottle of wine, and it is the most important thing to determining its flavor. The label. It's so California boring. Like what are these supposed to be, like mountains? Or is that the vineyard, like some chateaus? No, I'm gonna have to say -1 point for that as well. Looks like the wine my aunt drinks, not the cool one. So, anything else on the outside we need to judge? Feel free to chime in if you think so, but otherwise, we're ready to move inside the bottle as we taste our Gavelon Pinot Noir, but we have to do it the right way. which is why I'm here tonight to teach you proper tasting technique in 5 easy steps. It's gonna be a little tough with a glass this full, but let's try. Okay, everyone. Step 1 is simple. Sniff the wine as noisily as possible. Okay? And then you look up and you say just one word. Cloves. Then, quickly stick your nose back in the wine so no one can ask you what you meant by that. And now slowly, we sip, making sure to move the lips and cheeks as much as humanly possible in order to communicate to the world, I am tasting right now, do not disturb me. Remember, face equals taste. Now, once we've had a good sip and we've moved that wine around in our mouths, it's time to do one last thing. Yes, if you have a child or loved one with you who would also like to taste the wine, spit it into their mouth. But remember, just like on an airplane, always be sure to fully, securely taste your wine before assisting a child. For the rest of us, we can just swallow. How's that feel? Good? Got the basics of it down? Remember, sniff, say, stick, sip, spit, or swallow. So now, one more time. Who has the Pinot Noir here with me? You're going to taste it with me now? I'm very excited. Okay. Oh, hold your hands up for a second, would you? Everyone else, just look around for a second. These are the people who will drink anything if you tell them it's popular. So, after the show, be sure to ask them which Apple Watch they're pre-ordering. Thanks, guys. Now then, let's adhere to our proper tasting technique as we taste this gasoline. Bananas.
Wine.
Okay. Now that I've tasted it, and I've taken some tasting notes, popular, which is good, not from Washington, what else am I tasting? Maybe some spicy notes of spice, or some cinnamony toast crunch. Anyone else getting anything off this? Please, feel free to shout it out. That's amazing. I'm correct. Wow. So far, we are off to a really good start. And I gotta say, I like this quite a lot. You know, I'm sorry we had to dock it 2 points, but that means we can only give it a rating out of 3 now. So I'm gonna have to say this is equal to exactly 2.5 A-train blackouts out of 5 possible A-train blackouts. That's pretty good for a handicapped wine. So let me just say, worth another glass if you've got a chance at the bar. And would you look at that, guys? We're 1 wine down and only 4 to go. And don't worry, I'll be finishing this. But I won't bother with you that now, because some of you might not even know who I am or what I'm doing here. And for those of you, I just want to give you a quick primer. It'll be easy. You see, Chris Tries to Review Wine is a highly educational web series where I teach important life lessons based in wine tastings. For example, hey, girl, hey, 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 hey. So we're here tonight to, you know, have some live lessons, because what I came to realize is that even though I can learn so much like this, sharing it with you online, there are some mysteries I began encountering in my lair of bats. Yes, that I just couldn't solve alone. I needed other humans to solve these problems, and the easiest way to do that was to have a live wine review talk show on a Saturday night in the middle of a holiday weekend. So here we are, ready to solve some mysteries. And the first one is a toughie. It comes straight from our wine list. It's the next wine we'll be tasting tonight. A Malbec, or Malbec, or Malbec, or Malbec. I don't know, because I don't really know what a Malbec is anyway. I've tried to figure it out. I mean, I've got one here. I know it's a wine. I'm pretty sure from what I can remember, it's often a cheap wine. But what else is there to know about it? What does it taste like? Okay, yes, it is a wine that I typically describe as vanilla-y, but there must be more to it than that. That's what I'm here to discover with you tonight. And now we finally can. Siri, what's a Malbec? No, not Malbec. What's a Oh, It's a great... Well, now that we've taken care of that, I think it's time to taste a Malbec. This is the Navarro Correas. Correas? Well, you know, there's a lot I don't understand about Malbec, and pronouncing it is pretty high up on the list. Anyone here drinking the Malbec right now? Yes! Yes! You're gonna taste along with me. Do you remember our tasting steps? Yeah? Great, okay, let's go. Cheese! Ooh, I'm gonna take that one too. Cheese! You know, feel free to get your whole body into the face portion if you need to. And, wow, that was interesting. I might say it sounds kind of vanilla-y. Right. Did you get anything from it? Anything other than vanilla?
Cheese, I guess.
Cheese! Vanilla and cheese, which really, two things I love. So, I think this is a pretty good Malbec so far. I am feeling really good about it. I am ready to rate it. What should we give it? I'm gonna say 3 hungover hours at work out of 5, which is pretty good, right? What, do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm right again. This is going really well now. So, next up, well, I guess we have time for another mystery. And I love a good mystery. So much so, I use that a lot. And this mystery, would you believe it or not, it is next on our wine list, and I know at least one person here who's drinking it tonight. It is a mystery that has plagued me for a very long time in my wine drinking life. Does anyone really like Mat LeBlanc? I'm Sauvignon Blanc. Because it's basically the Mat LeBlanc of wines, let's get real. And you say you're drinking the Sauvignon Blanc. Why do you like Sauvignon Blanc?
I also really like Mat LeBlanc.
Lies. See? Everyone is just lying when they say they love Sauvignon Blanc. But here's the catch. When I went to order my delicious tasting flight at the bar tonight, they told me this is their best wine. So, having planned to hate it, will I like it? It's a real live action event, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're willing to taste this with me, okay? So, now that we really decided we don't know why we like this, I had another stinger in there for some reason. Let's get ready to taste it. It's the New Harbour, although the label is spelled correctly, I now realize. From New Zealand. All right, you tasting it with me? Let's go. Frodo. Okay. Oh, that tastes like an eel's sweat. And I am happy to say that I don't like this, and I am correct, because so far I'm what, like 3 for 3, right, guys? But let me ask you, did you like it?
It's kind of grassy.
Kind of grassy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it tastes like someone shoved a lemon in my face, but okay. A really, really grassy lemon. I don't know if I've solved this mystery, but oh my god, that's so bad, I have to have a little more. It's kind of refreshing in a way. I do have to rate it now though, so let's cut to the chase. It is only 1 vomit out of a moving cab out of the 5 possible, and it's probably the one I'll be on the way home. So, now that we've taken care of that mystery, let's move on to a happier one. In fact, let's move on to the darkest mystery of all. My thumb slipped. This mystery. Oaked versus unoaked. The mystery that has plagued Chardonnay drinkers for years. Decades. Millennia. I don't know how long we've been drinking Chardonnay. I could have Googled that before the show, but I didn't. Because I thought, why? When we could decide. We could solve this question once and for all by voting on it. What do you guys think? Should we vote on it? Yeah! Oh, this is fantastic. We are going to come to a consensus together, and then I will tell you the correct answer because I have a talk show. Go ahead, take your time. It's a long one. Okay, so. You got it? Now you got it. Are you ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, that's enough. So we're going to vote right now. It's a really simple process, just by hands. I should be able to count everybody in here. First up, everyone who is on Team Oak. Oak Chardonnay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a pretty good turnout. All right, all right. Oh, we got an oaked over there? Yes. All right. And unoaked Chardonnay. Okay, there is at least somebody here who didn't raise their hand, and I am serious about playing that music again if you don't. So, you know what? I don't want to pressure you, though. Let's just take a moment to talk about why you didn't raise your hand.
I raised my hand.
I don't believe you. I'm watching.
I raised it for oat.
All right. You say so. Aha! I knew somebody didn't raise their hand. But it's okay, because we're going to make this really easy on you. I get that having opinions about things is difficult. It stresses me out too, right? Right, especially something like wine. Like, what if you say the wrong thing, or like the wrong Merlot? Or what if you don't even get that joke? I assume that's why you all didn't laugh at it. So, let's make it easy. It's just about making a gut reaction, making a choice without even knowing what the options are. I'm gonna practice with you guys by showing you a couple either-ors, not wine-related. You don't decide until you just raise your hand. I'm not gonna tell you what you're picking from. You just gotta pick one or the other. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta just fly. First up, Riri. Hands up for Riri. Riri. Oh, good. Got some strong support for Riri. Everyone else, you now have to raise your hand for Bebe.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes! And now, okay, you see, some of you might have feelings of regret. It's okay. We're gonna learn from this together. Next practice, easy one, guys. I think this one's easy. Raise your hands for Ted Cruz. Yes, okay, bold choice. Everyone else now gets to raise their hands for Ron Paul.
It's happening.
See, it pays off sometimes. One more. This one I think will really hammer home the lesson for you guys, okay? Pro Snuggie. Hands up, Pro Snuggie. A lot of Snuggie lovers, great. You might feel some regret when you see the option you're passing up, which is the Slanket.
Working on my night cheese.
I think we can all agree that there was a right answer to this one, and we are looking at it. So, some of you might have felt some regret about one of those choices. You decided too soon, and then when you saw the alternative, you thought, no, everyone will judge me for picking Snuggie over Slanket. Riri over Bebe. Here's what I want to remind you. It's just that easy. So now we can all vote on oaked versus unoaked, right? Because it doesn't matter which one you choose. Ready, guys? Everyone for oaked. Yes! Everyone for unoaked. Ah, poor Kitten. Kitten's a loser tonight, guys. But we're all winners because we've learned how to just impulsively make a choice together in all kinds of difficult situations. I feel really good about that. And I want to give you one more tip. This one, well, I had hoped maybe some more people wouldn't vote, but let me tell you something. In the future, when you have trouble deciding between two things as irrelevant as oaked and unoaked, Republican and Democrat, marry, fuck, or kill, just lie to yourself. Choose one, it doesn't matter which, and then tell yourself, you have 100 reasons you made that choice. You don't have time to explain it to anyone. It would take far too long. But you are correct, and you always will be. Everyone got that? It helps if you were gay and Catholic when you grew up. But if not, it's a skill you can learn. Oh, speaking of Catholicism, I bet a lot of you are wondering why we're doing this on Holy Saturday. I mean, I know I am. It's my good friend Pope Frank here who suggested it, because it's a real simple solution to an ongoing problem for us Catholics. How can you do anything Easter weekend? Well, you time it perfectly. You see, 7 p.m. on Holy Saturday is right when I finish sobering up from my traditional Good Friday fasting and drinking fiesta, but before I start my traditional Easter Sunday non-stop drink until the resurrection marathon. It just works. That's my tradition. What's yours?
I'm going to have brunch with my mom tomorrow,
Hey!
Drink.
Hey! I like that. Bravo for traditions.
Yeah, brunch.
Brunch. That's not so much a tradition as a way of life, but okay. And you know, I want to form a new tradition tonight, right now. Is anyone here drinking the unoaked Chardonnay that's on the wine list here? No? Does somebody want to try it? And form a new tradition? Yeah? Woo! You're gonna form a new tradition with me right now as we taste Acadia unoaked Chardonnay from Napa Valley. There you go, sir. What's your name, by the way?
Matt.
Matt? Everybody, Matt. This is Matt. So I'm really excited to have you review this with us. In case you need a refresher on the steps, they're right here.
Right.
I'm going to just leave it to you. Make sure that you say something at the say step. Are you ready?
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
great. Everybody, eyes on Matt. He's sniffing.
Ooh. Buttons.
Buttons! Ladies and gentlemen, buttons. Am I going to ask him a question about it? No, he's going to stick his nose back in it. Oh, yes. Second sniff. Sit. He swallowed. He swallowed. That's a choice. Now then, we are ready. With a face like that, I bet you have some tasting notes.
I didn't like it.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't like it. Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Can I ask you one more thing?
Oh, sure.
Since you didn't like it, you seem like the perfect person to give it its final rating tonight.
Oh.
Out of 5 possible text messages, how many regrettable text messages to your own mother is this worth?
Oh, but see, I'm confused because I feel like a high rating shows that it's bad.
Now you see the true
Am
paradox
I
of rating a
right?
wine.
It's like a 4.
A 4, ladies and gentlemen! You have a really good relationship with your mother, sir. Bravo. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry, I had another question for you. You told me you had a clip.
That's right, I did have a clip.
Oh,
Yes.
will you set up the clip for us? Yeah.
This is a clip that I felt like we should all see.
I think that's really great. I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
Now, when women get to be a certain age, bye-bye love, hello Pop-Tarts. That's right, baby. It's a Holocaust.
Wow, thank you, Matt, for sharing this with us. You look amazing with those lips. I hope you keep them. Well, my next guest, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, my final guest tonight, she's known to the blackout drunks in the audience as Kim Kardashian. And to the rest of us, she's known as Siobhan Gilbert, here tonight to perform her epic one-woman poem, The Kardashiad.
All right, everyone has enough to drink? Yeah. Strap in, bitches. Okay. Just gonna pull this up. Oh man, yeah, if you, all right. So yeah, this is a one-woman epic poem about the Helen of Troy of our time, Kim Kardashian. But it's also a drinking game, so play along. Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention, a kingdom for a stage, a bar, Kardashians to act, and celebrities to behold the swelling scene. Oh, pardon, since a crooked figure may attest and place a little million, and let us ciphers to this great account on your imaginary forces work. Suppose within the girdle of these walls you'll find the yawning mall of Hollywood, the immovable faces of Bel Air, the yearning reaches of Calabasas, and the cunt stunting of Beverly Hills. Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts into 1,000 parts, divide one woman, and make imaginary puissance think, when we talk of Kardashians, that you see them, printing in their proud hoofs in the receding earth. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our heroes, carry them the here and there, jumping o'er times, turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass, or 20 minutes, whatever. For which the supply, admit me the poet, this history, who prologue like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our tale. Sing, goddess, the anger of daughter Kimberly and her devastation, which put pains thousandfold upon the Kardashians of heroes, but gave their bodies to the delicate feasting of dogs and of all birds, and the will of Ryan Seacrest was accomplished since that time when first there stood a division of conflict between Brandy's brother, the Lord of Men, and the beautiful Kim. I'm sorry, I'll cut that shit out. Fuck it, it's art, motherfuckers. Alright, so this begins with the statement of a theme. So I'm always fascinated by Greek myths, and it's also always so weird to think about how women figure in them. Helen of Troy, that other chick, I guess, she wasn't on the Cliff Notes, whatever. So how do we equate someone as classic as Helen of Troy to our modern times? With the help of Kim Kardashian, obviously. Now, usually epic poems start out as an oral tradition, but having seen Kim's sex tape, that's been covered enough. We're here to explore what fame means. For the record, then, what is Kim Kardashian's talent? What is my talent? She cocks her head to one side in an interview with some classy UK newspaper, which is probably the Daily Mail. Well, a bear can juggle and stand on a ball, and he's talented, but he's not famous. Do you know what I mean? And out of her own mouth, yes, that actually happened. Thus spake blank but beautiful Kim Kardashian, the most apt description of her as a person, talentless but famous. And what can you say about a woman so famous? For absolutely nothing. A lot, actually. And a note before we get started. Anytime you hear the sound...
Oh, this sound.
Honey.
Take a drink, for there's nothing more satisfying to the gods of fame than a well-sauced crowd. So...
honey.
Drink.
Honey.
Okay, hey.
Honey.
Well...
I got this one. Nope, I don't got that
Also
one.
drink when we fuck up sound cues. And media rest in the middle of the story. In April of 2014, Kim, along with her newly minted husband, Kanye West, or as we start calling him in this silly version, Mr. Kardashian III, she's finally achieved her dream. The one single thing that would legitimize her in the eyes of the general public, the blessing of demigod and main fashion dementor Anna Wintour. Yes, that would be a Vogue cover. Look at it. Behold! Isn't it majestic? Kim giving a more muted and reserved duck face than she has ever been seen before. By God, it almost looks tasteful, doesn't it? Kanye, his eyes looking wistfully off in the distance, perhaps because he's so in love. Or perhaps because this is the first time he's ever been in the background of anything since he was just another producer on Jay-Z's The Black Album. She's beautiful. There's no joke there. She's the definition of a woman in the 21st century. She has hips and curves, and forever tan, and everything's in all the right places. Everything's in proportion. Even the things that are out of proportion are in proportion in men's eyes. Lucky bitch. But this image, the cover of this holy book, this American gospel of fashion and celebrity, this blessed tome of taste, this pinnacle of fame, this was divisive in the eyes of the general public. Some felt that she deserved it. After all, she was a celebrity. However, there were some, a great many in fact, that felt that Kim was unfit to grace the cover of the American media machine's Bible. And so began a tempest of epic proportions, if you'll excuse the pun. It is this poet's personal opinion that even though you can see yourself atop the highest mountain of attention, without tremendous genius, without great talent, without heroism, without wit, without really anything much to say, she still did it. If you don't believe me, well, she climbed, or rather, she was actually lifted by several gods and allies to the Mount Olympus of fame, that fucking thing right there. And what a difficult and perilous journey it was. You guys ready to go on with me?
Honey.
Yep. The journey. Kim started out as the daughter of Robert Kardashian, a defense lawyer in Calabasas. She lived with her parents until the divorce and grew up with her siblings, Courtney, the small one, Chloe, the loud one, Rob, the male one, and her half-siblings, Kendall and Kylie, who were indistinguishable up until 2013. She had a fairly normal childhood for a young lady growing up in the greater Los Angeles area. Her father did represent OJ in his murder defense trial, and if he didn't get him off At least one of his daughters would have later on. But just besides. At 19, she eloped with music producer Damon Thomas, as you would want to do when you're a 19-year-old. That guy. That guy who produced such musical smash hits as Tyrese's I Like Them Girls. You all know it, right? No. So Kim got to be the hot young arm candy of the R&B record producer. And that was it. That was her life. And then Kim's childhood friend, Paris Hilton, got her own reality show. And by association, she gets a true whiff of the ass crack of fame. Paris hires her friend to become her personal assistant. And even better, the coveted closet organizer. Yes, the keeper of the closet, the wrangler of sequin pink miniskirts, Ugg boots, and crop tops. Come on, Chris. The limelight cast a warm glow into Kim's dark little world, and fortune, sacred fortune, smiles on this dark-eyed beauty. This great actress of our the great actress of our time and main philanthropist to Columbia, the country, because Lindsay Lohan decided to abandon her guardianship of Paris Hilton's stiletto and diamond belly ring collection to guard her own leopard print outfit menagerie. And so she goes to do it, our famous hero. And so up one rung of the ladder of fame she gets thrown, from heiress to actress, in the spotlight, somewhat, sort of. Being in the scene brought her closer to the light, but further away from her husband. Through her associations with Paris and Lindsay, she gets to meet other celebrities. One in particular is the brother of Brandy, a.k.a. Moesha, a.k.a. singer of The Boy Is Mine, also known as Ray J. Yes, Ray J, the Beethoven of our time. Singer of the great operatic hit, Sexy Can I? And I believe he asked our beloved Kim this question, and if I recall, her answer was most likely yes.
Honey.
The sex tape! I know, my dear audience, I know that you here as lovers of art and theater and whatever the fuck we are doing tonight have all high-minded noble pursuits. Rest assured, I do not mean to upset your delicate sensibilities. And yet I must, because fame requires certain sacrifices, and one of those is sex. Yes, sex. See, sex, boys and girls, occurs when two couples love each other very much, / love tequila very much, / their publicist says they need a boost, / they have a new film coming out, / they want to receive a lifetime of child support payments, / then those two people take off their clothes, turn on a camcorder, and make a sex tape. This is filled with terrible images, awful lighting, and even more terrible acting. And so Ray J asked Kim once again, sexy can I? And Kim's response was, only if you use my favorite lighting designer. And so Kim K Superstar was released in the year of our Lord 2007. And then, after seeing herself on film, she was displeased at how she looked. Dissatisfied with having to share both the covers and the limelight, she came to the realization that she enjoyed solo work much more. And her mother, the harpy of ambition, the pterodactyl of Calabasas, shrieked an angry shriek at the footage, and not just because she was watching her own daughter get it on with a subpar singer / C-list celebrity, but that she was cut out of the distribution deal. Never again, she hissed, forcing Kim to cry for shame. For shame! Her mother was without pity and decided to seek revenge on the video distributors, and so she smote them in a lawsuit, citing defamation of character, though whose character, it's really hard for this humble poet to say. But they won their case and received $5 million in settlement, which Chris took and converted into gold coins and hid in a vault beneath her lair. And Chris, the harpy of ambition, the pterodactyl of Calabasas, slithered on top of her mountain of newly minted gold with glee, and Kim turned to her mother dragon and asked, what should I do now? And her mother slivered over and cupped her daughter's face with her talon and said, wax.
Honey.
Divine intervention on human affairs. And thus Ryan Seacrest, idol of Americans, magical elf, the shiniest teeth, premier goddess of the E! Network, descended down from the heavens and offered assistance to the newly devastated Kim. And thus he offered a commission to Kim for her own reality series because of her realness. because of her depth of character, but most importantly for her really, really sizable ass. And the network's desire to get straight men to not flip right through to SportsCenter. And so he handed Kim the scroll of opportunity. And her mother, Chris with a K, the winged harpy of ambition, the pterodactyl of Calabasas, swooped down and snatched the scroll out of Ryan's delicate hand. And with a voice like a flute, the goddess Ryan shouted, "Give it back, give it back!" And in her best/worst Eartha Kitt impression, she murmured, "Only if you feature our entire family." Terrified of this horrific beast and her infinitely more masculine voice, Ryan, flute-throated goddess of the E! Channel, and all things reality relented. And so Chris, harpy of ambition, shrieked a terrible shriek and called forth her breachers with a K, Chloe and Courtney. From the depths of her lair, she clapped her back talons, and the two other girls of progeny popped out, Kendall and Kylie Jenner/Kardashian. She yanked a chain attached to her back haunch, and former important person/Olympian Bruce Jenner/Kardashian woke up from his slumber. It's a very long sentence. And she prepared them to be camera ready, which means they cast off their dignity and got mic'd up for the E! Channel. Keeping up with the Kardashians. With each season, the sisters fight. Chris makes up a hair-brand scheme to pimp them out for more money. Bruce's face slowly becomes as misshapen as Lena Dunham's nipples. And at least once a season, we see this. Just fucking beautiful. Our thoughts exactly small boring Kardashian with the baby daddy who looks like a low-rent Patrick Bateman. How can I not, Kim? Huh? How can I not? Since the series premiere, the Kardashian sisters have established careers in the fashion industry, co-owning the fashion boutique Dash, and launching several fragrances and clothing collections. So you could both look and smell like a baby Thai prostitute, just like your favorite reality stars. And Chris, the harpy of ambition, also further pimped out her progeny for shekels, or in the industry, expanding their brands. In early 2010, Kardashian was introduced/forced to talk to hitmaker The Dream, who previously worked on Rihanna's Umbrella and Beyonce's Single Ladies. Later in that year, I know, it gets worse. In September/October, who knows, Wikipedia doesn't, of 2010, he reached out to pitch her an idea and create a debut single for Kim Kardashian. And thus, The Dream became The Nightmare. And Kim Kardashian released the single Jam, parentheses, Turn It Up, making us all wish that she would turn it the fuck down. New rule, as the song plays, drink until it becomes tolerable.
Yeah, it's a real song. Those are the lyrics.
This is her real song.
There's the lyrics.
This is really her singing.
It's a real song. You ever seen this song?
I know. Yeah, times 8, guys.
Right? This is the only way to find out. I've got like 25 minutes to figure that out. I don't know. It seems pretty likely.
This is real life. This is actually happening.
This is actually happening right now. Yeah.
Time for softball.
Yeah.
Are you turned up? Turned up the gas?
Beautiful.
That's how you spell rosé.
Wow.
All right. That's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you loved it.
Oh, it's like the brain cells start killing themselves after a Many other things happened to the other Kardashians over the series, who all struggled to scrap some of the spotlight away from our blessed, blank, and beautiful Kim. In summation, Chloe attained notoriety in her own right after being arrested for DUI in 2007, for which she was jailed approximately 3 hours. The following year, she married Los Angeles Laker Lamar Odom after a 1-month relationship because nothing would devastate Kim more than having her fat sister's wedding have a 2-part deal on E before her own. Courtney pulled one of her broods straight out of her snatch on national television and has made up and broken up with her boyfriend, low-rent Patrick Bateman Scott Disick 47 times. Chris, Harpy of Ambition, Pterodactyl of Calabasas, pulled some stunt queen antics when she got bored of living vicariously through her own daughters. Bruce continuously looks exasperated throughout his many facelifts. The Jenner Kardashian girls got more attractive. Rob got fat and developed a fascination with men's socks. All things far more interesting than anything Kim actually does or says throughout the course of every fucking season. Unless she's crying. Then she's fine. And Ryan Seacrest, idol of Americans, magical elf, the shiniest of teeth, premier goddess of the Eve Network, wanted to bill Kim as a woman with a real life. And as we all know, you can only have a real life as a woman if you have a man attached to you. Over the course of the show, she had more than a few boyfriends. Technically, she's fucked over more male athletes than the NCAA GPA requires. Kim became involved with a relationship with New Orleans Saints running back Reggie Bush from 2007 to 2010, but she moved on because her mother made her. Kim married NBA player Chris Humphries in a highly publicized wedding ceremony, but filed for divorce 72 days later, which incidentally is how long it took me to figure out that despite his face, Chris Humphrey is not actually retarded. The Kardashian clan went to Miami and the Hamptons and New York, and they were all filled with colorful antics, while Kim always stood off to the side, taking selfies of her ass. And the show goes on and fucking on.
Honey.
Transformation to high fashion stunt queen. And then she met her main slam piece, her great love forever, or until Ryan Seacrest says otherwise. Her reason that Beyonce tolerates her, Mr. Kanye Kardashian West.
Honey.
Trick again, because Chris fucked that up. Hey. Kanye wanted to get engaged in a football stadium with an orchestra and an empty football team and a camera crew because he wanted to keep it private. Way to battle those rumors that you're on the DL. Nothing screams like you're straight like orchestral music in an empty football field. Yeah, we smell what you're stepping in, Yeezy. Good try. In 2012, while still married to Chris Humphries, Kim became pregnant by rapper Kanye West. After suffering from preeclampsia, she gave birth prematurely to their daughter, North. Now that she's the queen of fashion because she married a man who invested his own money into a line of leather sweatpants, look it up. She is desperate to look polished and classy with a K. She now gets front row invitations to the most famous runway shows around the world with Kanye, whereas before they would have shoved her in the back. With the rest of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and God knows where else Andy Cohen has decided to make a fucking show. Her look is no longer her own. One of Kanye's all-time greatest tweets, and this is real until he deleted it, was, "I have to dress Kim every day so she doesn't embarrass me." Well, Kanye, look upon your work. Too real. And now those two have had enough fuck times to produce a baby girl so perfect, so famous, so complete with the genes of the two best celebrities in the world that's actually Blue Ivy Carter. But yes, Northwest, where Kimye's collective ego floats in that general direction, will also be the general direction of every single one of Northwest's rehab facilities and therapists for the rest of her life. However, now that she has a husband and daughter who are on the same level or even more in the tabloids in the social consciousness than her, now that she is just wife of blank and mother of blank, she still can. She's still very beautiful, but she's still very, very blank. So at the end, you pose a rhetorical question, and so for mine, it's now that she's hitched with Kanye and has a famous spawn of her own, what is left for her to do than fade back into obscurity? That's really fucking depressing. I drink to that.
honey.
Yeah, okay, I'm done with that song.
Okay.
Shit, you know what? I just remembered. I failed. I said I would taste 5 wines in 25 minutes, and I didn't. I totally forgot about some random Prosecco that I ordered. You want to taste some random Prosecco?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I got some right here.
Great.
Let's. Oh, I gotta open it up. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Yes. Ready.
Okay, take a sip.
Okay.
You didn't say the word.
Say. She's got time.
Fame whore.
Oh. How is it? Great.
I'll do what I want, Matt.
Oh, sass.
She can hear you.
Because that's how sound works.
That's not.
Oh, it's live.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine.
Matt.
Hey, Matt. What a great note to end the night on, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. Don't tell your friends, just tell them you had a good time.
Woo!